I think we lose sight here in Washington that, in fact, middle-class families sitting around their kitchen tables are asking tough questions this holiday season. They're thinking about how they afford to buy gifts for their children this year. They are wondering how they're going to pay the mortgage. They're looking at the tuition bill for their college-educated child next semester. And certainly those people who are millionaires and above, they're not worrying this holiday season. And yet we are being asked to give them a windfall when middle-class families are struggling. So our Republican colleagues are playing Santa Claus for millionaires, but Scrooge for the middle class. For those who make over $1 million, they want to give you a big fat check averaging about $104,000 with a bow on it. For our children, they want to give them a $4 trillion bill to be paid back with interest for generations to come. That's their version of happy holidays. Does it make sense to anyone out there but our Republican colleagues who once again are telling us that rewarding the wealthiest somehow works to trickle down and create jobs? If that was the case, I guess we would all be supporting it. But in fact, we simply say, show us the jobs. We cut taxes, and they said it would create jobs. In the year the Bush tax cuts passed, unemployment was under 5%. In nearly a decade under the Bush tax policy, unemployment has doubled and now stands at nearly 10%. Now they're saying we need to reward those who are the wealthiest again and that it will create jobs. And the fact is that history shows that simply isn't true. Now, personally, I applaud those who, through their work, sacrifice, ingenuity, have created personal wealth. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think we should applaud it. But there are also the individuals in our society. Often, I talked to many of them as the former chair of the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, and they said to me, we actually want to help the country. And I think that's what this is all about, understanding those who have the wherewithal to help the country and understanding those who need to have the ability to meet their hopes and dreams and aspirations. So I think the differences in the priorities between our two parties are really clear. Republicans would rather increase taxes on all Americans, holding hostage the effort to improve the standing of millionaires. Those, as you can see from this chart, who would get a huge benefit. It is more important to deliver tax breaks to the wealthiest in our country versus to deliver tax breaks to those middle-class families sitting around the kitchen table making some real hard decisions. That's the fundamental difference here. And I'm one of those who, after we have the $250,000 vote, and for moving immediately to $1 million vote. Because I think most Americans in the country know I'm not a millionaire. And then it'll be crystal clear what this debate is all about and the difference between our parties. One that stands for middle-class families versus one that stands for multimillionaires and billionaires and are willing to give everybody else a tax increase in order to give the wealthiest people in the country a huge tax decrease. That simply isn't what most families in this country are thinking about as they sit around the kitchen table this holiday season.